Dozens of Tasmanian families are demanding justice after the bodies of their relatives were illegally taken from a hospital morgue and kept in a university museum. The state government will deliver a formal apology next week, but families say charges need to be laid.
Growing up in Hobart's northern suburbs, John and Tony Santee were more than just brothers.
Tony was 6 years older than me, but we was like best friends. I used to follow him around like a sheep.
Tragedy struck in 1976 when Tony was killed in a motorbike crash at just 19 years old. For decades, his family believed he had been laid to rest. But everything changed when John saw his brother's name in the local paper. Tony was one of 126 people whose body parts were unlawfully taken during autopsies and kept at a medical school in the University of Tasmania between 1966 and 1997. His brain remained in the collection for almost 5 decades before being returned to the family last year.
To have to rebury your brother 50 years apart is something no one has to go through.
Upper House member Meg Webb has been calling for a formal parliamentary apology since the revelations first emerged last year.
It was clear to me that we needed to be treating these people with care, with respect, and that we needed to offer them an apology for what had happened to their loved one under the auspices of our state.
But the independent MLC says there needs to be accountability.
That isn't something that was done by one person and one institution. It was happening across decades, and we haven't seen anyone held to account for that.
A coronial inquiry conducted last year found one pathologist who is now dead provided most of the body parts. However, others were likely also involved. After questions from Sky News, the state government said it had asked the Department of Health to figure out who else might have helped. 8 months on, the department told us they are still reviewing historical records. Meanwhile, Tasmania Police say they will not be conducting any further inquiries. Would you describe this as a miscarriage of justice?
It most certainly is. If I went up the shop now and stole a loaf of bread, I'd get arrested. The Minister for Police, Felix Ellis, promised to crack down on crime. We haven't heard nothing, and this is a crime.
The families are now considering a class action lawsuit against the University of Tasmania and the state government. Aspen Blom.